Your team sucks. John's so much better at that. What's up, guys?
Sucks.
We are live again doing a little fantasy football preview. I got my man Carson here. We got my man Jordan here. I am Matt,
What's up?
celebrating Labor Day weekend with my patriotic hat on.
And both sucky teams, Brownies and Giants.
Hey, man, what's more American than supporting this shitty football team?
You know, it's the motto around here, so let's do it.
Who's your team, Carson?
The Ravens.
Oh, nice. So, yeah,
That's
we were
his
talking
team this year. He bandwagons like crazy.
Carson thinks he's going to run the table a little bit. Now I understand. It's okay. I disagree with you, but it puts it into perspective a little more.
I was almost sure he was going to go back to the Bucks this year, but he stuck with the Ravens. That's cool.
Yeah, as soon as Gruden took over on the Bucks and BJ was our quarterback, Brad Johnson, I had to go shopping for another team at that point.
I mean,
we won a Super Bowl, and I felt so dirty with that Super Bowl win. I had to go find another team.
It happens. That's all right. We've all been there, I think. So today, what we're doing, guys. The other day, if you missed it, we went through a draft. I think we had the 4th or 5th pick, and just kind of discussed, options, drafting strategies. Today, what we're going to do is if you're drafting with the very last pick in the draft, which I get saddled with often, I feel like.
I like the last pick in the draft.
I do. Yeah, it gives you a lot of options on that snake draft with the last and the first and the second round.
I love having the turn because I can never make my mind up who I want,
Just having all that time to think and then still not knowing.
But then the next pick is a long way to go after you take your first two. It's a long way. It's about 20 to 24 picks later.
That's the worst part, really, is just sitting around.
That wait is crucial.
Because then, I mean, your picks take 2 seconds because it's just bam, bam. And then you're sitting there again forever.
Exactly. But later, I think later
the
in
last
the draft,
pick's great
it's
for
really good.
What were you saying, Carson?
Later in the draft, when you get those back-to-back picks and you have your sleepers that you're eyeing for, and you get to pick up 2 of your sleepers back-to-back, I think it starts to really pay dividends at that point. In the rounds 3 to 5, say, it's a long wait, and you see all your players go off the board quickly.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's not really a disadvantage to win, but it's a torture to draft that way because you watch everybody and you know all the guys are going to get sniped, and you just have to sit and wait.
The first round, I generally like it. Last year was good. Later, I actually preferred last year's board later in the draft spot. You had Julio Jones, and you had a lot of good people going later in the rounds where you could go back to back. Even if you're looking running back to back, wide receiver back to back, or 1-on-1, there was a lot of good options. This year the board stacked a little differently, so we'll look at it and we'll get into it.
We had Michael Thomas going later in the draft last year too, and that was a steal.
Yeah.
Really, in the first round, everybody who went in the top 5 who wasn't named Christian McCaffrey was pretty much a bust for where you took them. Exactly. I mean, I played in drafts where Alvin Kamara went first. That was bust. Saquon Barkley had issues. Zeke was not his old self. Basically the top 5 picks, it's McCaffrey or bust, which is why everybody's taking McCaffrey this year. But he's got a lot of tread on his tires. That could easily be a bust this year as well.
Exactly.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can stay healthy.
Matt and I.
Without further ado,
let's get it.
Go ahead.
I was saying, before we went live, Matt and I were chatting a little bit about the running backs and wide receivers. What's a better value in the first or second round? And there's a lot of question marks on the running backs this year. There's no, it kind of feels like running backs are
what
more.
Would you consider first?
What was that?
All right, we got the draft board coming.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Jordan.
I think we're starting to break up a little bit.
All right, you can go ahead and throw it up. I'm on the screen right now. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, we've added that stream.
As always, All right. As always, we're going PPR, of course. I like it better than half PPR or anything. I like one quarterback leagues, two quarterback leagues make the quarterback the utmost, most valuable position, obviously. And quarterback flex is also they're interesting, right? Let's get this going. We're going to have the last pick in the draft on a 10-teamer.
We should have good value here with a 10-teamer.
Definitely. 10-teamer is a little bit like easy mode, turning down the difficulty of drafting.
It is. Yeah, it is kind of rookie mode, but it's fun. If you get a group of guys that know what they're doing and you got a solid group of 10 people, it could be a lot of fun.
And it also allows us to have a video that's not 2 hours long.
And that.
Now, speaking of that, though, we are going to do our own real fantasy draft coming up some point next week, and we're going to stream that live too. So
yeah,
it'll be fun.
I think we're looking at Tuesday the 8th might be a good day for that one.
I've never actually seen it take this long to load a draft. Hopefully, it's coming up.
So it's your internet that's.
I mean, it's just because we're live. It's taking that long, of course.
Maybe it's my internet.
You're 200.
The new and improved draft simulator. All right. Let's look and see what's gone so far. All right. So first pick, Christian McCaffrey. No surprise there. Second pick, Saquon Barkley. Feel free to jump in, Carson, if you have anything to say about any of these guys. Third pick, Alvin Kamara. Then we got Zeke, Dalvin Cook, Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the rookie, and DeAndre Hopkins, and we're up next.
Well, let's talk about Clyde a little bit. They're pretty high on him. I would not put any rookie in the first round. That's just me, though. What do you think?
First round is tough because I don't feel like you're getting the value there. I think we saw what he could do last year in LSU, and they did take him in the first round of the actual draft. And then with who was their other running back out of Miami who just opted out? Damian Williams just opted out, pretty much leaving him the backfield. So JD's gone, Damian Williams is gone. They're going to put a lot of faith in this rookie, and he catches a lot of passes. Should.
Let's see. He might come out and get all the touches that Saquon did on his rookie year, but a lot of times the coaches like to work them into the system and make them feel comfortable, and also don't want to risk their rookie asset as a high draft pick. So generally, rookies generally step into a committee, but we'll see.
If you're playing in a dynasty or a keeper league, though, he is the clear number one pick out of all of the rookie class this year. He's the guy you're targeting.
Indeed.
And some good running backs this rookie running backs in this draft.
100% facts.
So we check out the suggestions. They like us taking Derrick Henry. Go ahead.
All right, let's look. We got Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Julio Jones, Tyreek Hill. Matt, who would be your pick out of those four? Derrick Henry is the highest on the board.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
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 Yeah. Go ahead.
Henry's the clear choice there for me. And to lock up a potential number one running back with the 10th pick. I mean, he's definitely the top running back on his team.
I agree.
All right, and then let's talk about it because we got the snake pit.
Yeah, so I like Julio this year, even more over than Tyreek Hill. They got too many weapons on the Chiefs. Tyreek Hill's value is a little diluted by all those weapons. Julio Jones is the man. We all know he is the man. He has been consistently year over year. You think he might fall off, and he keeps getting better. He's healthy, right? As far as I know, he's completely healthy this year, right?
From what I hear, he's the healthiest he's been in a while.
Exactly. And
Julio Jones is almost never completely healthy, but yes, this year,
yeah. But
this year nothing's come out. So he is a beast. Other options, I mean, I see a lot of people taking Lamar Jackson in the first round. It's probably a little early for me for a quarterback. but that's not that should be considered. I like Austin Eckler a lot this year, though, with Melvin Gordon not there.
I don't know if
PPR. The Chargers will go with a two back set.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't proven. I held him on my team when Melvin Gordon was out. I was an Eckler owner, and you really see he's kind of a specialty role type of player. If you give him the workload, you give him the 20-plus touches a game, you don't see that type of production. So his endurance and his stamina and his size and all of that factors in. And so that puts a little red flag for me, especially this high.
I think Justin Jackson comes in. I mean, we saw what they did without Melvin Gordon last year while he was holding out. I think Justin Jackson steps into that Melvin Gordon role, and Austin Eckler keeps his exact same role he had in the beginning of the year there. They're still using a dual back setting, but he's catching all the passes out of the backfield. But he doesn't have Phillip Rivers as his quarterback, so that may change things as well.
100% agree. I think Justin Jackson is actually my favorite running back off the Chargers this year. He's going to have, I believe he will have the first and second down snaps. Eckler will come in for third downs. And I believe this is going to be Justin Jackson's breakout year. He's more powerful. He's a more force through the middle. I think we're going to see them put up equal numbers this year, and you'll be able to get Jackson in the fifth or sixth round, maybe.
I think even after that, I love Jackson, especially in zero RB. But we all decided we're taking Henry number 1, right?
Yes,
that seems obvious to me. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with that.
Yeah.
And Julio Jones to back that up? I mean,
I'm very happy with that as well. I'm not so sure about Julio.
Who would you go then?
I would think we should consider either taking Julio next, like we talked about. I like Travis Kelce, although I think we can get Kittle in the third. I don't know, maybe it's a long way down. I like Travis Kelce if we go after tight end. I really think Josh Jacobs has a breakout year this year. I think Josh Jacobs is going to be a fantastic back.
Miles Sanders, too. I mean, it depends. Do we want to load up on running backs early? I mean, we got some studs here with Joe Mixon, Miles Sanders, Austin Eckler.
I don't know if this is the pick to take a chance.
On running backs right now, or split the difference and go running back, wide receiver.
When we were doing our intro, I was going to mention that one of the things that I do like about getting saddled with this pick is I usually end up getting a nice running back like we're about to get here and a top receiver out of the gig.
I agree. I think especially because we're going to have to wait.
You can do that. I think there's better receivers late round.
All right. So what do you suggest? I think Jacobs is a bit of a.
All right. Let's take a vote. We're 3, so we're not going to have a push here. I'll vote for a receiver, either Tyreek Hill or Julio. They're about equal in size.
I'm fine with that too. I'd be happy with either one of those guys.
So you go receiver over running back right now?
Yeah, and you know that. Again, the Josh Jacobs, I think he's going to have a great year as well, but I don't think this is the pick to take a chance.
I agree. And so let's discuss Julio versus Tyreek.
Okay, let's go Julio Jones then.
Okay, let me pop up.
I like Julio better. I think that Falcons offense is going to be fantastic. I really like the Gurley pick, and I think Gurley's going to be quite good this year. He's going to take pressure off of Julio, which if he stays healthy, will have a fantastic year. Matt Ryan's a great quarterback. A lot of offenses out there have a lot of turnover in a year with no preseason, and the Falcons really don't. They added a running back, but it's the same system that he's been excelling in year after year. And I guess Tyreek Hill, you can say the same thing about him, but I just think that, like you said, there's too many other weapons on that team.
Yeah, it just dilutes the value a little bit. Julio, I believe Julio's going to be a top 3 in my eyes this year. It's hard for me to say because I feel like I've had him on my team for 10 years plus now. But yeah, I mean, the man just he is a beast. Even injured, he comes through and he's a top 10 receiver injured and he's healthy. Yeah, so I'm not betting against Julio this year. I did last year. I won't make that same
My
mistake.
problem with Julio is I feel like you get 3 or 4. I feel like he gets 3 or 4 breakout games a season. So if you average it out, he's like a top 3, top 5 wide receiver. But week after week, he's not consistent. He'll give you a ton of points one week and very few the next. You know?
Yeah, I think a lot of that had to do with those nagging injuries, and hopefully he's
But I'm still
miraculously healed himself.
All right, let's go ahead and take Julio. And we got 1 running back and 1 wide receiver and a long time to wait.
Yeah, I think that's the smart move at this position is to split that because the wait is so long.
I think there's so many people on the fantasy simulator that it's going really slow.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah, it's true. I remember that last year, the couple days before kickoff.
I mean, this is the time. I mean, well, this another brings up another.
We had Mahomes go. A lot of stuff
we got
off the board, guys.
You know
right.
me. Jackson went.
Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes just went. Yep.
And they have fucking Dak
Prescott. Personally, I'm not big on Dak Prescott this year.
Hell no.
Thank God George isn't here.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Dak Prescott could be.
I like Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray more, actually.
I don't like a quarterback right now. I think we fade quarterback. No.
I think I'm okay with that too. We did well with the first box.
Me too. If you think it's a 10-team league.
Yeah, we could pick up.
It's a 10-team league, so after 10 quarterbacks go,
then no one's picking anymore.
Now,
see, but we're like kind of what I was saying. We're looking at much better wide receivers on the board right now than running backs, in my opinion.
Let me look here. Could you scroll down a little bit?
Yeah, Mark Andrews if we wanted to go tight end.
I think Thielen has a bounce. Last year was a bad year. Calvin Ridley could have a breakout year, which
it was a bad year. I'm not so sure with Diggs gone, and he's going to start drawing the double teams over Diggs.
Does anybody?
I think I like Odell better from the Browns.
Yeah, and him and Baker will have some more chemistry this year. Let's look at his stats.
I think they're more focused. I think Odell has a big year. There's a lot of weapons there on the Browns to spread the ball around too, and I think they're going to be a running team. And Odell and Landry are going to be decoying a lot, but I still like him catching some deep balls. I think out of those 4 wide receivers there, though, I probably like Amari Cooper the most. What do you think? I definitely like Amari Cooper over Robert Woods.
He's burned me so many times. And I mean, that's to say that I love the guy so much, but it's hard, you know how it is.
That's the thing with fantasy. It's like, who do you really like as a receiver, as a real player? And then who's going to give you the most points and who's going to win you your season? For me, who do I like the most out of this group? I like Thielen the most. He's my favorite receiver out of this group. But is he the best pick to give me the most points when the season's all said and done?
That's a good point. I would be okay with Ridley here, I think, essentially because we do get the back-to-back picks too. So
no, I don't like Ridley here.
No.
I think we should take a running back and a wide receiver here again. So we're stacked at both. I think receiver Odell or Cooper would be the ones I would go after. Or Kupp. Kupp is a beast.
Yeah. I like Odell here. But again, I wouldn't be upset.
You like Odell here?
Either one of those two guys. And Kupp, yeah, I mean, this is the part of the, having that last pick that sucks because Kupp probably wouldn't be taken in this spot, but we don't get to pick again for a long time. So we need to really secure somebody like that.
Exactly. I would lean a little bit over Beckham, but again, I'm a Ravens fan and he's a Brownie, so they probably
I think Odell is very hit or miss. And
Yeah.
Cooper's probably going to be more solid. But if you think target share wise, they added CeeDee Lamb. Go ahead. Sorry.
Odell Beckham probably has a higher ceiling, but Amari Cooper's shown nothing but good things as soon as he touched down in Dallas. So there's no reason to doubt Cooper, and there are some reasons to doubt OBJ.
That's an excellent point.
I agree. I think Cooper's the pick here.
I like it.
We all good with that?
All good.
All right. Now, next, I think it has to be we're not going wide receiver again for the flex spot. So I think it's probably running back, but we could consider a tight end. Mark Andrews is still on the board.
Ooh, I like Mark Andrews. I think Zach Ertz.
I really like Todd Gurley.
I don't like Zach Ertz. Too. I think Zach Ertz is a little overvalued this year. He's going to see some competition at that tight end spot.
I think he's the second best tight end in
Darren Waller is on the board there, but how could you pick him above Mark Andrews?
You couldn't. I think I would almost take a running back here to shore up our 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and then on our next pick, we see if Darren Waller is still on the board because I like Waller more than Ertz this year.
Who do we have for?
And I would be okay with Hunter Henry in the next pick too if he's still there. Or really wait on Hayden Hurst. I think Hayden Hurst, Hooper was the best tight end last year. Atlanta loves using their tight ends, and Hurst has the pedigree. I think he might do fantastic.
Yeah, that is a good sleeper pick, I think. What do we have for running backs here? I'm not seeing the running backs.
Gurley, Melvin Gordon, Le'Veon, definitely not.
Running back, they want us to take James Conner. Then we got Gurley, Chris Carson, Melvin Gordon, Le'Veon Bell, and David Johnson.
How do you guys feel about Gurley this year?
I love Gurley this year. From everything I read, they cleaned up the knee issues. He's healthy. He's a former number 1 overall pick. I think we took him in last year's draft. I think he could be a steal at this point in the 4th round, basically.
Yeah, we talked a lot about this in the last draft. And the system that he's in right now, and if he is cleaned up in that knee area, he could easily be a top 3 or even the top running back in the entire league with the talent that he has. So I'd be happy to take him. I'm not excited about the other running backs on this list. James Conner doesn't excite me, especially with the pick here. And I can't really see what else we got. Chris Carson,
I like Chris Carson. I had him on my team. He did well for me last year. No team runs the ball more than Seattle. That offensive line seems to get worse every single year. They're stacking up on wide receivers. I think they might run the ball a little less than they did, and it's always a back by committee. I don't like Melvin Gordon in Denver. I'm not so sure that him and Lindsey isn't just going to be a straight split. I like David Johnson if he stays healthy in Houston a lot since they shipped Lamar Miller out. And then Le'Veon Bell. Can't see myself drafting Le'Veon Bell over Gurley here. So I think Gurley's the pick. What do you think, guys?
But Le'Veon Bell's your keeper.
I am in a league where Le'Veon Bell is my keeper. I'll go ahead and discuss that. I don't think I'm going to keep him this year. I have Bell, Chris Carson, and Mixon in one league, and I can keep one of them. I think it was going to be Bell because Mixon was having the contract dispute and might sit out. I think that now that they shored up his contract, it has to be Mixon. As much as I hate the Bengals and don't think they'll score a lot, it's got to be Mixon.
I think it's got to be Mixon too. I think the Bengals are going to surprise some people this year in all aspects. I don't love any of these.
This has to be Gurley, right?
Yeah, go Gurley. I mean, do you guys feel he's a flyer though, or you think it's a solid pick? I feel he's kind of a flyer on my end, but.
No, I think he's a solid pick.
Much about how healthy he is, much like Julio Jones coming into the season recently. So I'm willing to. I wouldn't call it a flyer, but I'm willing to take a small chance that he's actually healthy because if he is, I mean, this could be a league-winning pick right here, really.
Indeed, yeah, good point. Let's get it.
And I remember when Devontae Freeman came out and was like the pick in that same
1 year,
basically the same offense there for 1 year, but he was always banged up after that. Now he's gone. They got
Breida,
They got
right?
Gurley in there. If he's healthy, I love that.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
All right, let's see what we got here. Andrews
So
and Ertz both went off the board. We do still have Darren Waller, though.
I
Right
don't
now,
like
we need to pick our flex play. Right now, we pick our flex and tight end, I would say, unless you really like one of these quarterbacks.
Gordon's sitting there. McLaurin's sitting there. That Washington receiver was. How did he finish last year? Was he must have been top 20, right? At least.
Oh, Scary Terry did fantastic last year, and I think he does even better this year with a better quarterback situation there. And I think he really showed off his athleticism. He has a potential to be a breakout pick because I don't see there being a lot of other options there. They've got one superstar wide receiver who they're just going to feed the ball to. I really like the McLaurin pick over the Melvin Gordon pick. What do you think?
I agree 100%. Scary Terry, let's get him.
We talked a lot about him the last time we filmed, and we didn't take him. So I think this is a good spot to make that move. And yeah, Melvin Gordon not doing it for me at all.
So, and then we got the next pick too. I like looking at tight end. What is this now? This is 5th round for us, or no, 4th?
It's going to be 6th. This is 5th, taking Terry, and we get 6th.
So I like tight end here. Tight ends are going to get eaten up in the 6th and 7th rounds. And we got some good ones. I'd say
talking about Waller, but what about Ingram here? And Henry.
I like them all. I like all of those guys. Hunter Henry.
I'm not as high on Higbee. I like Waller probably the best, but I do like Hunter Henry if he stays healthy. I think a young quarterback's going to rely on that tight end a lot.
Well, that's why I like him at Ingram too, and he did put up some solid numbers last season when he was actually on the field.
Yeah, I'd say between Waller or Henry, and then if we're lucky, we get Hayden Hurst on the next wraparound.
So we're taking back-to-back tight ends then?
Well, one tight end on this, because we get back-to-back picks each round, right? So one tight end on this one and one tight end on the next one, then we're set there. But
I got it. Let's talk real quick, just because they're going to be off the board, about Devontae Parker from Miami. While we're not going that route because we went other wide receivers, I think he broke out last year. He finally has a coach that has him on a diet, has him working out, has him training, and he looked like the number 1 wide receiver they drafted him to be. I think he could be really good this year.
He is coming into his own, and the organization put their trust in him. They paid him, right? And so I believe this man's going to want to step up and earn that paycheck.
But they got a pretty team-friendly deal. He wanted to stay in Miami and prove that he wasn't a draft bust. And so considering how he's breaking out, they got a really good deal on Devontae Parker.
I believe so. I mean, Fitz could make some receivers look good, and then if we have Tua come in, Tua could open up the field for him. So either way it goes in Miami, he's a good prospect.
I think so. Do we care at all that we're taking Waller and he's a good 12 spots down the draft board for Melvin Gordon?
Oof.
Well, that is always tough, but it's we have 2 solid running backs.
But we got Stephon Diggs on the board right there in Buffalo in the fucking 5th round.
They like
he was a first second rounder last year. And Ingram, which Ingram now it's always I
think Ingram loses his job.
Yeah, I think it's always a platoon in Baltimore, and he's not. I think he's more of a mentor now. Is going to be more of his role.
Although I didn't like him last year.
Honestly, I like Diggs right here. I like Stephon Diggs right here, honestly. That would
you
be
like Diggs here over getting our tight end?
We have 2 picks, though, or did we already pick our
I really like Jonathan Taylor in Indy. I think he wins that starting job, and he could possibly be a top 10 running back. The problem is they got Mack and Hines there, so I don't know. I think that team gets a lot better. He's kind of the do-it-all running back. And I also like Cortland Sutton here, too, if we're talking about it. I really like Cortland Sutton. I think you put Jerry Jeudy on the other side, and he puts up great numbers.
Agreed. And who in the backfield of Denver, has anyone left? Who's left in that backfield? Because we have Melvin Gordon coming into Denver. Who departed?
Well, they got rid of Freeman. Freeman, so it's Gordon and it's Lindsey.
Okay, just Gordon and Lindsey, and then some no-namers.
Basically.
Have we already picked our first pick for this round? Do we have 2 picks right now, or we
No,
only
I
have
think
one?
we got 2 coming up, right?
We have
We
one.
have 2 right now.
Here, check out our draft board. Just one. Right now, our team is Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Todd Gurley, and Scary Terry. That's mean so far. And we got one more pick here, and then we got to wait a long time for our next one.
I'd like to get our tight end 6.
Yeah, we have 3. We have 3 solid receivers. We could fade Diggs. We could fade Gordon. Let's get a top-notch tight end while we can.
I mean, I'm fine with Waller here.
Yeah, I like Waller.
Yeah, we have 3 solid receivers and 2 running backs. I would like to take another running back or go running back heavy at the end of this draft because that's where injuries really kill you. You know?
Yeah,
so
let's definitely go.
We're good with Waller here, or we're going to try to wait?
I like Waller. I'm good with Waller.
Yep.
You like Waller?
As soon as he left Baltimore, he got off the dope and started playing.
I mean, Cooks was in that same role the year before they got Waller, and that's why I like Waller so much, or Jared Cook. That's why I like Waller so much last year. The Raiders really use their tight end.
They do. I
they
think
throw
it's
to him
going
constantly.
It's going to be stepped up a notch this year even more, I think.
See, we got Hunter Henry and Hurst still on the board. We might could have waited there, honestly.
Yeah.
Henry would have been okay, but yeah. I'm still.
So now we have 2 picks, right?
All right.
So you were talking.
We got 2 picks.
Ingram. We don't really like him too much, right? We think
don't love him. So should we be looking QB at this point?
Well, the QBs I really like, Wilson and Kyler Murray, if we're not waiting till the end, are already off the board. I don't think I would want to go. I don't think Drew Brees is going to be that much better than Ben Roethlisberger or Aaron Rodgers or Matt Stafford, who we can wait and go, who will go undrafted, you know?
But you got to think in our position. How long can we wait? Our next pick's 20 picks from this one, right? So,
well, the thing is, this is a 10-9
taken.
We might be in a tier 4 by our next picks.
I don't think so because this is a one quarterback league with 10 players, so it's going to go through Breeze and everybody else will go undrafted.
How many?
We're already on.
How many bench spots did we have?
6.
So, do you think in a 10-team league, most owners draft a backup quarterback or no?
I would not ever draft a backup quarterback.
Don't unless there's somebody really good hanging around for some reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't in a 10-team league. In a 12-team league, I almost always do.
Me too. I'm okay with waiting till the end of the draft and nabbing Aaron Rodgers or Ben Roethlisberger, honestly.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Or both of them, and then we just stream whoever has the easier defense.
All right, so
I also think Jared Goff might have a good year.
If that's what we're gonna do, let's make sure we're getting value above that. All right. So what are we looking at here? We could use another running back for sure, right?
We could definitely use a running back, and on that front, I mean, Mark Ingram's still there. I like Kareem Hunt a lot. I think he wins the job eventually.
I don't know who's the other running back in Cleveland.
Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
And I think Chubb's great, and he did great for me last season before I got him. But I think Kareem Hunt is clearly the better running back.
You think so? I think Chubb's got what it takes.
I think they're both.
Again, I'm not talking shit on him. I just think Hunt's better. I think Hunt's really, really.
I'll go Hunt here. If you two think Hunt, I'll be good with that. I'm good with Ingram too.
Do we like Hunt over Mark Ingram though? I think they're kind of opposites.
A little regression, but Ingram was 1,000-yard running back, 500-yard receiver. So, I mean, he's going to see a little regression, but he's definitely going to be top 10. And we're getting good value at this point in the draft.
See, I think Mark Ingram takes that starting job, and then Dobbins ends up breaking in and taking some of his carries late season. Whereas I think Chubb has the starting job now, and Hunt wins it by the end of the year. So these are kind of opposite picks. And I would probably go for the guy who's going to put the upfront production because we can always trade him as long as he's producing, and we're not just waiting.
Following the Ravens and knowing how their coaching staffs work and how they deploy their players and their assets, they generally like to develop their players a lot before they give them a lot of playing time. So I would not, and they've already paid Ingram. Ingram's paid for the next 2 years. So knowing how that coaching staff and GM operate, I would expect them to get their money's worth out of Ingram this year, having him be the mentor role, and Dobbins is taking a back seat and just learning. And they want to sit on that and not play him out. They have a deep enough backfield where I don't think Dobbins is going to get much playing time. They generally don't give many rookies much playing time. That's just how the Baltimore organization goes.
Hey, we have 2 picks here. How do you feel about going Ingram Hunt?
That's not a bad idea. I actually like it a lot.
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't either.
Thank God I'm sitting down, actually.
God, we're so stupid. Yeah, I think that's a pick. I think that's a pick.
I don't know. I think it's either Ingram Hunt or it's Ingram Julian Edelman. Because I think Edelman could be a flex superstar, the number 1 option on that team by far, and Cam's blanket. And who else are they going to throw it to there?
Have Edelman in your flex than Hunt and or Mark Ingram right now?
Did you already do it?
I don't know. I just took Ingram because I think we all decided on him. I like Hunt to hang on to till later, but I like DeAndre Smith. I think Swift, and I also like Julian Edelman here.
I think for strategy, I think it's more interesting if we go Ingram Hunt right here and see how the rest of the draft plays out.
Okay. Yeah, there's good wide receivers later. Look, Brandon Cooks is way down the board still, and
look, we could even get our backup and Peyton there. Yeah, I was saying, I would definitely fade Dobbins this year.
Would you?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get much playing time at all. From what we saw with Justice Hill when he came in, he got barely 20 snaps a year his first year. So,
all right,
I got you. Let's see.
Damn, Hunter Henry's still on there
now. A lot of stuff went off the board. No quarterbacks, though. I think we can wait on that. The first defense went. So I think we almost start. I always am a big fan of taking defense early because they're a starter, not kicker, but defense. Right. So maybe Steelers or Ravens here as one of our picks.
Yeah. Obviously, you know what I'm going to pick there. So.
Yeah.
And then we got James White on the board there. I think there's way too many running backs in New England to take any New England running back. You got Michelle there. They just picked up Lamar Miller. They got James White. I don't think you can take a New England running back at all.
I don't know. White did prove to be have an ability to make space and break out huge runs last season, though. But you're right. It is difficult to pick up the way that they run their running back situation. It's always hard.
I mean, the Patriots were the number 1 defense last year. They were a little long in the tooth by the end. They're pick 5. We could wait and try to get the Patriots if you want. The Bears were the top picked with the highest ADP last year. I saw people taking him in crazy spots last year as soon as the 6th and 8th pick in the draft, and they're the 7th rated defense. So we could probably wait on defense if you want. What do you think?
Yeah, I think anyone going after defense right now is a little gun happy or trigger happy. So let's let them fall on their own sword, and we should wait a little bit. Let's be responsible and wait a little bit on defense.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, it's hard. I get tempted sometimes, but I don't think I've ever won or lost a season because I did or didn't draft a defense.
True, exactly. But at the end, it is a difference maker. If your defense is up 20 points a week, It's gonna make a difference.
But to Jordan's point, like the Bears last season were such an expected to be an amazing offense or defense, and then crumbled. Jacksonville had the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots went basically undrafted and were the number one defense last year.
Generally, I mean, I got Chicago 2 years ago. I got Chicago off the waiver wire when they're the number one defense. So generally, you'll see unexpected defenses step up, and you could pick someone up off the waiver early in the season.
Especially early on, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got 2 picks here. James White. I'm not a big Tariq Cohen fan this year. I'm not Tyler Higbee for a second tight end. I would take Hunter Henry over Tyler Higbee, preferably. Our quarterback, Hayden Hurst, which I really like, or we either got Breida or Howard. We already talked about Dobbins. I'm fading Lindsey as well. I do like CeeDee Lamb, and we have Amari Cooper. We could double down on our Dallas receivers. What do you guys think? Pick 2 of these guys.
Still annoyed that Hunter Henry's up there still, but whatever.
Yeah. I think we should take Hunter Henry. Ooh,
that might not be a bad idea.
And we have Cooper. I mean, we're handcuffing with CeeDee Lamb. So that might not be a bad idea.
We are. CD's pick 100, though, and we got James White at pick 76. It's a little bit of a reach. I really like the Hunter Henry pick unless we decide it's Hayden Hurst. He's a little bit more of a long shot, but they're going to use him a lot. Yeah,
they're about equal in my eyes as well.
Matt,
I think Hunter Henry, he's an established threat, and at least personally has done really good things for me in fantasy.
All right, Hunter Henry it is with the first one, and this is our second tight end, by the way.
Yeah, so we're good on tight end.
I mean, I'd be happy with starting either one of them. So they make good trade bait if somebody gets hurt early. Like it just gives us flexibility early on. If we don't, I mean, we're pretty solid already. So we don't really have to take any chances right now.
Yeah, if you look at the draft board, I mean,
like fuck, I wish this was a real draft.
Yeah, we're looking good. I'm very satisfied with our team so far.
Oh yeah. Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Todd Gurley, Scary Terry, Darren Waller, Mark Ingram, Kareem Hunt, and Hunter Henry. That is solid. Let's go back. So, do we like the CeeDee Lamb handcuff here, or would you go James White, or should we go for our quarterback?
Where are we in the draft? Are we coming into our last 2 picks here?
This is pick 10. We said we were going up through 10 again. But we can keep going through if you want. It's up to you.
Breeze is good here.
You like Breeze over Wentz, though?
Man. I like Stafford.
You like Stafford?
Out of these guys, I mean, Rodgers, he really kind of burned me. So it's tough, but he's obviously an amazing talent. But I don't know. I think Stafford is he looked amazing last season when he was actually on the field. He got hurt, week 8? But, I mean, if he could stay healthy, which is just, it's a crapshoot for anybody, but I think he could put up a career year, and especially at this, what pick are we at right now? Like,
we're in the 10th.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine to take a quarterback at this point.
Baker Mayfield went really high last year. I know Carson took him really high, but and I think that he breaks out this year. I think everybody was 1 year too early. He's quarterback 18 now. I'm not saying we take him now, but he's somebody to keep an eye on because in that group that he's in, Tannehill, Burrow, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, I think Baker's going to have the best year out of all of them by far.
Well, I mean, if we want to go out, then we just wait and take a quarterback in the last round because he's not going to get drafted here.
Yeah, let's call him honorable mention, but not draftable.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not draftable.
Yeah, if you're in a 2-quarterback league, though, late, you're definitely targeting Baker in that tier.
Oh, in a 2-quarterback league, he would have been gone by now.
Could be. All right, so we got our 2 tight ends. So White or Lamb or Higbee or Cohen, Philip Lindsay.
I like the handcuff Lamb. Look at Breida sitting there though.
I like Breida. Breida is one of the fastest guys in the league. He's going to catch all the balls out of the backfield. But do we like Breida more than Jordan Howard? I don't know how the split's going to work. I use Breida a hell of a lot more in Madden, but that's just because he catches so well, you know. Jordan Howard might get the carries there.
Do we still have 2 picks in this round, or we're down to 1 now?
No, we took Hunter Henry, so we have 1. I like Jerry Jeudy as a sleeper
for
here.
me, I'm just going to put my picks out there, and then you guys could finalize. I would say either CD or Breeze. Those would be my votes. You guys discuss and pick.
I'm good with CD. I like CD Lamb a lot.
I would lean towards that as well.
I think it's a good call. Having Cooper and CD on the same, because if anything happens to Cooper, CD's going to explode.
And they could both have good years side by side anyway.
Exactly.
All right, we're up now. Quarterbacks haven't really moved. Everybody other than us already took a quarterback. So I think we can wait till the last pick and still get one of our guys, you know?
Probably.
Hayden Hurst at 90, but are we going to take 3 or 4 tight ends?
I think we're good on tight ends.
Yeah, we're good. In a 10-team league, I would not go over 2 tight ends.
I wish we hadn't taken our second tight end because I do like the Gronkowski pickup late, you know, because I think he might be the red zone threat on a team that scores a lot of points. Besides, if you have anybody who's not as apt in your league, Gronkowski makes the best trade bait ever.
That's true, too. There's a lot of dum-dums out there that are such homers for those guys. I don't know. They have such a talented – now. I mean, they just added another weapon to that offense that can put up points, numbers, anything asked of him. And they have a great core of tight ends. But yeah, to take a late flyer on Gronkowski, like what the hell? That does sound nice. It's tempting. It's like a few years ago when Jimmy Graham got traded. Everybody was feeling nice about taking him in the late rounds, but yet he even still disappointed.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So here we said we were going to go through 10, but we're already past that. So let's get through this a little quicker. A lot of good tight ends on the board. What do you guys feel about Marlon Mack at 118 or Zach Moss from Buffalo?
I just spotted Latavius Murray too, who I kind of like here.
Latavius Murray I'm not as high on just because I had him in like every league last year thinking he was going to fill that Mark Ingram spot. I was so high on him as a sleeper. Reaching a little down the board, I love Alexander Madison as a handcuff pick, and I also really like Bart Scott. So if we were going to hold on to 2 handcuffs, I like both those guys as maybe the 1 and 2 handcuffs in the league.
We don't have a quarterback yet, right?
You're right.
But again, I don't think anyone's going to get drafted for a while.
I say we take quarterback with the last pick in the draft. Let's look defense. Only one defense is gone so far, too.
Ravens, if you want to take
Ravens.
Yeah.
You want to go Ravens defense here?
I'm not really too excited about any of those position players here, and I think it's a good time to snag a defense, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ravens it is. I think it's a bit early. We're the second defense off the board, but I'm good with that.
Ready, you know?
All right. I mean, our positions are covered. Our skill positions
other than
are
quarterback,
covered,
but nothing else is going to go.
But we have a lot of talent left and a lot of points left on a quarterback.
Hayden Hurst still on the board. I'm guessing everybody already took their tight end or close. Let's see.
Yeah, you get a lot of value in the deeper rounds in the 10-teamer.
Yeah, you do. So here with our second pick, Zach Moss might do very well this year. I don't know. It's going to be Moss or Singletary. I'm not sure. Like I said, I like Gronkowski, but we can't take 3 tight ends. I like Marlon Mack. Did well last year. He was going a lot higher.
Yeah.
But I'm just not sure about that rookie running back pickup and how much Hines is taken from him.
Well, but this is a good spot to take a chance on a rookie. I mean, we're stacked. This is a hell of a team. So I think that we can really go for reaches here.
Yeah, I think this is our sleeper time.
Like they say, this is when you win drafts, is in the later rounds, right?
Yep.
As long as your starting ones are solid, but everybody's starting ones as a contender is going to be solid. This is where you start to win them.
Look, we got Rob Gronkowski there, who could be good trade bait later on.
Great trade bait. I just don't know how I feel about taking 3 tight ends. Truthfully, he's not trade bait, but I think T.J. Hawkinson has a tremendous breakout year this year too.
Yeah, agreed. Damn,
and Hayden Hurst is still on the board.
Didn't go too soon on tight ends, huh?
I think so. There's such value at tight ends late in this. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel about Mecole Hardman?
I don't know. I think he's kind of a gimmick player, in my opinion. I think
former 4th round pick.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't call it on him, honestly. I like
for me here. This is kind of a tough pick. I would either go with Alexander Madison, just as the home run hit, just in case Cook gets injured. Cook is injury prone, and Madison I think is the best handcuff in the league to have. Or I like Robbie Anderson on his new team on Carolina. I don't know who else is getting the ball there, but he's a true number 1 wide receiver.
What about Sony Michel here? I think he's going to see more action than most of the guys I'm looking at on this list right now.
I don't know.
They got White, they got Lamar Miller, and they got their 1st round pick Harris on that team. They got 4 stud running backs, and week to week, you never know which New England running back is going to get the ball. I fade New England running backs altogether.
They had a similar.
I think I would Darrell Henderson before him.
Yeah.
Oh, and Murray's still up there too. Yeah, when you scroll back up, yeah.
And even though Brady's no longer in town, I still don't like drafting any New England Patriot.
Right. I like Jalen Reagor a lot just because they don't have pass catchers in Philly, really. And he was the rookie, but he got injured, so I'm staying away from him.
All right, so what are we thinking here? What are we going to?
Y'all tell me. What do you? And Kerryon Johnson was fairly solid last year. You had him in a couple spots, Carson. What do you think?
Yeah, he's got hurt, but he's looking good. He's looking really good for a breakout year.
You think so? They drafted the kid too, though, but who knows? Yeah, I think Kerryon Johnson. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know. But taking Kerryon Johnson over Drew Brees or Drew Brees.
I just think Drew Brees will still be there. You want to take Brees? We can go Brees.
I don't think he'll be there. We could try.
Yeah,
Here, let's take Brees. We don't have a quarterback. Let's actually fill a starting position, okay?
Yeah, that would be that's not a bad pick at all anyway, to add to our amazing team.
Brees, put it on the board. So we took our quarterback and our defense there.
Yeah, see, Stafford went there. Carson Wentz went. Yeah, Brees would have been gone.
Good move.
Good move, definitely. Aaron Rodgers is still on the board and Big Ben. But, yeah, you're right. Good move.
Let's check out our team again. Where are we at?
Yeah, I think we're about good. I mean, we got our major position players set.
Well, yeah. I mean, our team looks good. Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Todd Gurley, Terry McLaurin, Darren Waller, Mark Ingram, Kareem Hunt, Hunter Henry, CeeDee Lamb, Baltimore's defense, and Drew Brees.
Isn't that
There's
ironic?
only 3 picks left. Let's go ahead and 3 picks left. One of them's a kicker, and let's pick them and see how we do. So, who are your favorite sleepers at this stage?
Let me see who's on the board.
He's still up there. Is Latavius Murray still there?
No, he's gone. What do you think about Darrell Henderson from the Rams? I just don't know what they're going to do with that backfield.
I don't know either. He kind of seems like a one-trick pony. He hits the hole and can hit it fast, but if you don't make a hole for him, he's not going to do much.
Yeah, he's scary, but they took Cam Akers too. I don't know. It's a big question mark, but I guess that's the point of these picks, right?
I mean, I like Hardman here. At this point, we still have Hardman on the board, so.
Zach Moss still up there?
I think I like Marlon Mack more than Harlan, though. He was a big time. He went a lot higher last year.
Yeah. He's built. He's a tank.
And I just think that the other wide receiver or the other running backs on that team are going to be the pass catchers and compete for that role. But nobody's taking Mac's role, you know?
Agreed.
All right, let's go with Mac there.
Fine.
I also like to load up on backs at the end of the draft. I'm just more scared about running back injuries than wide receivers. You can always find somebody wide receivers.
It's true. So
Still
one more
defense
pick
hasn't
and then
gone.
a kicker, right?
Yeah, looks like it. So
What do you think about taking another quarterback for trade like Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, I like it.
In a 10 quarterback league, I don't think there's any trade value there because Ben Roethlisberger is going to be on the board. I wouldn't trade for Rodgers with Roethlisberger on the board, would you?
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right.
Yeah, I don't. Now we're getting all
Look
into
how
the
far OJ Howard has fallen.
Everyone on this list is like over 36 years old.
OJ Howard went so high last year.
Well, he's really good, but I mean, look at what the situation he's in now.
I think he does better this year. I'm okay with the McCole Hardman pick here. I'm also okay with Bart Scott or Alexander Madison.
All of them.
Fine.
I would say Hardman, even though I was
The
talking
other
crap
option
last
is you got Chris Thompson. Chris Thompson is Jacksonville's. Fournette's gone. He's the pass catching back in Jacksonville. They're not going to score a lot, but he might get a lot of balls.
Yeah, true. Because they're going to be scrambling for points, so they won't be
They're
running.
going to be playing from behind, and he's the back catching it out of the backfield. That's not terrible.
No, it's
No,
not.
you're right about that. All right.
And I like
Lock it
Tony
up, man.
Pollard too. That's a handcuff.
Sammy Watkins is still out there. That's crazy.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, I like
Hardman.
Watkins probably more than
I do
Hardman.
too. Yeah.
Look at that. Larry Fitzgerald's still on the board.
Wow. I think. Wow.
Alshon
I don't-
Jeffrey's still on the board.
I just want to take him.
Who? Matt
What's that?
Fitzgerald?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. They beefed up that offensive line. Kyler Murray coming into his own. They got the weapons on the outside. He might be wide open in the slot all year.
It's going to be a good offense anyway.
Yeah.
It's the
They're
air
gonna
raid
have to-
offense. I love it. They're going to do nothing but throw. It's a
he-
risky pick, but it's our pick right before the kicker, you know?
And our team is already disgustingly good.
Yeah,
so
we
I
have
don't
the
know.
cushion. If he's a bust, we have the cushion to absorb it.
Yeah. I do like Hunter Renfro, too, in deeper leagues. Oh, you know who I would take here? Justin Jackson's still on the board.
He is. I like it.
I think I like Justin Jackson over Fitzgerald.
Like I was
Because-
saying, I think he's going to be very similar stats and numbers and fantasy points to Austin Eckler, getting him, and Eckler went in the first.
I agree. I think that has to be the pick here.
All right. Now the ever important kicker.
Now all of the defenses go just like that. And what do you think for kicker? Just put him in a bag?
Whoever has the
randomly?
best offense, whoever's moving the ball the most, I generally go for that kicker, right?
Who are we expecting to score the most points, right?
Yeah.
What are we
So,
here?
We
They
got
like
Jake
Ellie
Elliott.
from Philly and Koo from Atlanta.
I also think about, do you guys think about dome or open field for kickers? I like to think about dome.
Certainly,
So,
yeah. Especially if you got a good kicker in Denver or something like that.
yeah, I like Atlanta
That's a good
kickers, Saints kickers.
So we
I
got the
don't
Atlantic
Young
here.
Hoku isn't exactly confidence inspiring, but
No, he's not. Dan Bailey from Minnesota is interesting, but that's terrible weather there.
Yes.
that's
good
in a dome. No, that's in a dome. Well,
Oh, yeah, you're right. What about Mason Crosby? That's terrible
Crosby's
weather.
open field in Green Bay. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, we're putting too much into this.
yeah, I'd say Jake Elliott. Let's just take the highest ranked.
Jake Elliott, put it on the board.
All
Let's
right.
see how much the mocks. Oh, B minus. I got a bunch of A pluses recently. And,
I don't know.
The truth is, I
I'll take
love
this
this
team all day.
team more than a lot of my A's. I would take that team all day long more than a lot of the A's and A pluses I get.
So good.
I don't go off of a lot of their ratings, but that team is nice.
Yeah, we aced it in my book.
I think we took a lot of running backs, which they don't like. You always get penalized from that, but that's just my style.
I think it doesn't take into account the intangible stuff that we're looking to maybe trade some of these guys.
True.
That's true.
Nice.
Very nice.
So, closing remarks. At least
Looking at this, I don't see another team that's better than ours, though.
I can't read that because it's too small, but knowing what we have, I think you're probably right. But
Yeah.
I will say the only thing I think we kind of ooped on was going a little early on the tight end, and we did that.
Agreed.
I think also in the last draft that we did. So,
especially for Darren Waller,
that's two drafts in a row that we went early on it. Ooh, look at that!
So that's good learning for us here.
Bam!
And our fans out there.
It is mock draft season, and it is fun, and we wanted to do this for about an hour. We're at 1:01, so that's good. Thank you, Carson, for joining us. Thank you, Wager, for throwing it on. Yes, and Matt, always a pleasure. We should do some more of these before the season, practice for our drafts, right?
We will. Yeah, maybe we'll try to do one tomorrow or on the weekend.
Any last words, Carson?
Let's get it.
All right. Matt?
Yeah, wait on your tight ends.
Wait on your tight end. It's the year to wait on the tight end, I think. Quarterback, too. There was good value late.
There was. Sure. So we should probably look at a 12-teamer next time. I think 10, it was a little easy with 10.
I agree. 12-teamer next time.
Thank you, Facebook user, for our good show compliment.
Thank you.
And
hope you guys learned something. Little draft kit. See y'all later, and your team sucks.
Totally. They're the war.